Hello, tech lovers, and welcome back to Cyber Monday. I'm Tia James, and we are back with another exciting episode filled with groundbreaking innovations, AI advancements, and the hottest trends in the tech world. Today, we've got a power-packed lineup. We'll be diving into the latest laptop advancements, exploring how AI is making gaming more immersive, discussing a major tech scandal that's shaking up the industry, and of course, we'll end on a fun note with some of the weirdest tech gadgets making headlines. Let's get into it. Laptops have evolved drastically over the years, but the future is looking even more exciting. From dual-screen setups to AI-enhanced performance, manufacturers are pushing the boundaries of what a laptop can do. Today, we're looking at three of the most cutting-edge laptops: the Apple MacBook Pro M3, Asus ZenBook Duo OLED, and the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold 2nd Gen. Each one brings something unique to the table, whether it's extreme processing power, a fully foldable display, or an AI-powered optimization system. Let's break down their specs and see which one might be the best fit for you.
Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're delving into the latest leap in Apple's innovation with the introduction of the M3-powered MacBook Pro models, available in both 14 and 16 inches. These laptops are not just an upgrade, they're a quantum leap forward in the world of computing. But before we dive into the depths of these groundbreaking devices, don't forget to engage with us, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. The unveiling of Apple's M3 CPU family marks a seismic shift in performance and capabilities. With these new MacBook Pro models, Apple has incorporated the M3 GPU, promising an astonishing 2.5x boost in performance compared to the M2 family GPU. Let's dissect what makes these laptops truly remarkable. Firstly, the core innovation lies in the 3nm M3 processor family, boasting a state-of-the-art GPU architecture. This includes hardware-accelerated mesh shading, ray tracing akin to high-end graphics cards like the AS7 Pro, and dynamic caching. The series is composed of the M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max processors, each packing a punch of sheer computing power. A standout feature is the introduction of dynamic memory, dynamically allocating local memory based on real-time application demands. Apple claims a staggering 2.5x performance boost over the M2 family GPUs. But it doesn't stop there. The efficiency cores are up to 50% better than the M2 Pro and M2 Pro Max, while the performance cores boast a remarkable 30% speed improvement. Notably, the neural engine performance has surged by an astounding 60% compared to the previous generation. Let's delve deeper into the specifications. The M3 supports up to 24 GB of unified memory, featuring an 8-core CPU with 4 performance and 3 efficiency cores, alongside a 10-core GPU. Stepping up, the M3 Pro flaunts an 18-core GPU, a 12-core CPU with 6 performance and 3 efficiency cores, supporting up to 36 gigabytes of unified memory. The M3 Max pushes boundaries with support for up to 128 gigabytes of unified memory, boasting a 40-core GPU and a 16-core CPU with 12 performance and 4 efficiency cores. What about the display and battery life? Brace yourself for an awe-inspiring 22 hours of usage on a single charge. The Liquid Retina XDR display with a maximum HDR brightness of 1600 nits guarantees an unparalleled visual experience. Apple has also introduced a sleek space black color option for the M3 Pro and M3 Max models, appealing to users with an eye for aesthetics. This dark aluminum finish, achieved through a breakthrough anodization technique, not only looks sophisticated but also resists fingerprints. Now on to pricing and availability. The 14-inch MacBook Pro, starting at $1,599, with the M3 processor, replaces the previous M2 Pro model, which commenced at $1,999. Meanwhile, the 16-inch MacBook Pro, starting at $2,499, offers both M3 Pro and M3 Max configurations. The M3 Max models are set to ship in November, with other models already available for order. Surprisingly, the entry-level M3 MacBook Pro is now more affordable than the previous 13-inch MacBook Pro in Apple's lineup. This significant price adjustment makes it an irresistible option for those seeking high-performance laptops. In conclusion, the Apple MacBook Pro M3 models in 14 and 16 inches are not just an upgrade, they represent a technological leap. With unmatched performance, stunning displays, and thoughtful design choices, these laptops are poised to redefine the standards of computing. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Apple MacBook Pro M3 models. For more tech insights and in-depth reviews, subscribe to our channel, like this video if it was helpful, and share your thoughts in the comments below.
This laptop makes a lot of sense. It looks like a normal laptop, but it can be transformed into a dual-screen laptop when it's time to get some work done. I honestly feel like crying. This laptop is making me feel emotional. I mean, all these years of multitasking on a small display, where has this laptop been all this time? This is the Asus ZenBook Duo 2024. It's a dual-screen laptop that is excellent for multitasking and it delivers solid performance. Now in this video, I'm going to show you what it can do and whether the dual screen display is a gimmick. Spoiler alert, it's not a gimmick. Now let me show you the box and what you get. I thought I received the wrong item because I was expecting the packaging to be bigger. It comes with a 65 watts power pack, a stylus, that's the Asus Pen 2.0 with different tips, and yes, the laptop. It only comes in one color, which is inkwell gray, and it does a good job of not attracting fingerprints and smudges. Now, this is a lightweight laptop. It only weighs 1.65 kg and it is approximately 2 cm thick. Now, I know what you're thinking, durability. Is this laptop fragile? Nope, it's not, and that's because the Asus ZenBook Duo meets the MIL STD 810H military standard for reliability and durability. It has been dropped and placed in harsh conditions and it survived. Honestly, it doesn't feel like a prototype or something that would get damaged easily. For the port, it comes with a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A port. It has 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports that support display and power delivery. You can connect a total of 3 monitors to this laptop. That's 2 monitors via the Thunderbolt 4 ports and 1 if you're using the HDMI 2.1 port. It has a 3.5mm audio jack, but no SD card reader. But hey, if you have a dongle like this, that problem is solved. Now let's talk about the different modes you can put this laptop in. Starting with the standard laptop mode, it looks like a regular laptop and nobody's going to know that the keyboard is detachable. Now, once detached, you can type on the lower screen. If you tap the lower screen with 6 of your fingers, you're going to enable the keyboard. I found out that you can use 5 of your fingers and it's still going to work. Now, it's a full keyboard with shortcut keys and a large trackpad. You can change it to a half keyboard by using 6 fingers and dragging down. Dragging your 6 fingers up would change it back to a full keyboard. Now in half keyboard mode, you don't have a trackpad. Now if you want a trackpad, you can tap on the screen with 3 fingers or tap on this button for a smaller trackpad. Now, depending on the app you're in, this portion of the screen can be used as a utility bar. On Edge, you have shortcuts to create a new window, zoom in and out. For Adobe Premiere Pro, you can add shortcuts to scrub your timeline and do other things. Screen Expert allows you to manage the display. My favorite feature under Screen Expert is the task group. This allows you to save and launch your preferred apps in your preferred window and arrange them with a single tap. Raising the laptop up and extending the kickstand, now it's in dual screen mode. These two displays are 14-inch displays and the quality are the same, and of course they both support touch and the use of a stylus. More on that to come. If you rotate the laptop 90 degrees, you're in desktop mode. This is useful when you want to work on one monitor and have a reference monitor. Lying this laptop flat, you're in sharing mode. Now imagine you have somebody at the other side of the table. You can show that person what you're doing. For example, let's say you're a photographer and you have a couple at the other end. You can open the job you did for them and walk them through the digital album. Now let's check out the laptop in normal mode. The physical keyboard is one of the best I have used. With 1.4 mm key travel, typing on this keyboard feels like you're typing on foam. It's super comfortable and it doesn't make noise. The keys are backlit, making them useful in the dark. The pogo pins charge and power the keyboard when attached to the laptop. You can turn on the Bluetooth function, detach the keyboard from the laptop, and use it as it has an internal battery. When the battery gets weak, the keyboard has a USB Type-C port that you can use to charge it. Now moving to the touchpad, it's large, smooth, and responsive. It supports multiple gestures. Now the main reason why you should get this laptop is because of the dual display. It has 2 display options. The one in my region comes with 214 Full HD Lumina OLED display with a refresh rate of 90 Hz. In other regions, you can pick a 3K Lumina OLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz.
AI is revolutionizing the gaming world. From NPCs that learn and adapt to photorealistic graphics generated in real time, artificial intelligence is taking gaming to a whole new level. One of the most exciting developments is AI-generated game worlds that evolve based on player choices. Imagine an open-world game that completely reshapes itself as you play. Every decision changes the world around you dynamically. Let's take a look at some of the most impressive AI-driven games that are setting new standards for interactivity and realism.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the next big buzzword in the video games industry and, frankly, all sorts of entertainment industries. Unlike previous trends like blockchain and metaverse, new advancements in AI are set to bring big changes to the industry, with developers from AAA studios to indies all looking into how AI can transform games from more realistic NPC to shortening the development time of even the biggest MMOs.
And it's not hard to imagine AI having an immediate transformative effect in games, because AI in games has already been around for a long time. So the question isn't whether or not AI will change games, as it is already a fixture in game development, but rather how the accelerating new advances in AI could disrupt the existing workflows. While other recent trends couldn't immediately answer how they could enhance gaming as a medium, AI doesn't suffer from the same vagaries. Both the positives and negatives of AI overtaking game development are easy to see, both in terms of how they could be applied and what practical results could come from them. The first question, whether or not AI will disrupt the game industry, is a somewhat complicated question given that AI is already a major part of the video game industry. If you've ever played a game where you're escorting a non-playable companion, they're being powered by AI, along with all the enemies and boss fights you encounter. No Man's Sky uses machine learning to create new planets for players to explore endlessly, making it another example of how AI tools are already being incorporated into popular video games. If you've played a video game where levels are generated procedurally, that too is using a form of AI, as developers aren't hand-making these new levels for players to try each time. And in fact, game reviewers have praised games where the AI is particularly impressive, or have called out games where the AI feels lacking.
If you've ever encountered a computer-controlled enemy that dodges at the last moment or surprises you with an attack, it's a good chance that it's the work of AI. AI has been a part of games for many years now. It could be as simple as NPCs reacting to your gameplay or an enemy's behavior during battle. AI helps to make moments in games more dynamic. Monster Hunter gives their creatures AI that react to you. They realize when you're vulnerable and take advantage of that. The Nemesis system and the Shadow of Mordor and War games give all the generals unique personalities, and based on your actions, they change their stories thanks to AI. These are just a few examples, but I'm intrigued to see where AI goes next in games.
On the player side too, AI is already being used to enhance the base gaming experience. While our How AI Will Change Technology video goes more in-depth on this topic than I will, companies like Nvidia are using AI to improve video game graphics, without users needing to upgrade to the most expensive hardware. All this is to say, AI is already a feature in game development as well as the game playing experience. Advancements in existing AI tools will only make these same features more impressive going forward, with particular excitement for how advanced AI language models can improve NPCs. Which brings us to our next point.
I need performance capture to work like a mirror. I need it to capture whether I'm acting scared or angry.
One of the most exciting advancements, particularly with the rise of language models like ChatGPT, is in improving non-playable characters, or NPCs. To get a better idea of how AI can make for a more realistic NPC, I asked OpenAI's ChatGPT directly. It said, one area where AI is already having a significant impact is in character behavior and decision making. AI algorithms can be used to create more realistic and believable non-player characters that interact with players in more natural and dynamic ways. For example, NPCs can be programmed to react to a player's actions, adapt to changing game conditions, and learn from their experiences. If that's something a chat-based AI program told me in response to a question, imagine that technology is used to create characters in the next Dark Souls game.
The important thing to keep in mind about AI is that it should be treated like a tool, and specifically in the context of game design, I think it's important to look at it as a means of easing the process of developing games. And the people who make games will still be human beings, creators, artists, designers, etc. But if AI can help sort of ease the process of going from idea to actual creation, then that's cool. But it shouldn't be just the be-all, end-all, the creation itself. So, hopefully it takes some of the weight off of all of the stuff that's a pain in the ass in making video games and makes it easier for more people to make games.
One AAA video game developer already exploring AI for NPC dialogue is Ubisoft, who unveiled Ghostwriter, an internal AI scriptwriting tool developed at Ubisoft La Forge. In the minute-and-a-half-long video released by Ubisoft themselves, the studio explained how Ghostwriter uses AI to create rough drafts of NPC chatter, or barks. First, writers create a character with a variable input or a situation that the character experiences. Ghostwriter will then generate new lines for the character that a writer can then choose and edit. Ubisoft says the Ghostwriter AI will free up their writers, who can then spend more time focusing on high-level narrative work like cutscenes or a game's overall story and character design. If we choose to take Ghostwriter as an example, Ubisoft is keen on calling the tool a time saver that will enhance efficiency and free up their developers to work on more important parts of the game. And that could very well be true. As game development time continues to extend with the requirements of more advanced technology, particularly AAA games, being able to save precious time on writing each individual NPC dialogue could help make development times more reasonable. And while the example used here was for background chatter, generative AI could be asked to create elements of a game that aren't necessarily unique, like the bushes in the forest, for example. In the same way this would free a writer from having to spend time on individual NPCs that players will only encounter in the background, this could free up artists to work on more important and unique visual assets. This isn't just a benefit for large studios with extended development times either. GamesIndustry.biz spoke with indie game developer Shahid Ahmad, who said that AI could help smaller studios punch above their weight, giving access to more advanced tools and assets, such as graphical and visual assets, to smaller teams that previously couldn't compete with AAA companies.
Indie developers have been using AI basically as long as AAA developers have been using it. If you've ever played a game with procedural generation, where the game's making maps and rooms kind of on the fly as you play, that's a form of AI. A lot of games have NPC AI or enemy AI in them, and indie developers use all those tools too. It can make development easier, especially if they don't need to have giant teams and hire tons of people to make things for them. Generative AI is a little more questionable, and not as many indie developers are using it, but I've talked to folks who have used programs like ChatGPT to explain development concepts to them, like how to make something in Unreal or Unity, or they've used generative AI to inspire their games, maybe to create some concept art that they then work on themselves, combining human elements and AI elements. So there's, a lot of different ways that they're using it to make games easier.
If AI has been around for so long in game development, why has there been such a recent wave of concern over the impact of AI technology in games? That's partly to do with what new AI tools are able to generate, particularly when it comes to writing, but also art and audio. Ubisoft is clear that Ghostwriter is only being used to write crowd chatter, telling Axios that it won't be used to generate plot, character backstories, lore, or any of the other core elements of a game's narrative. But as generative AI is taught using real work from existing artists and writers, there's a fear that AI could be used to replace human workers altogether. There are already plenty of examples online of generative AI recreating art assets in the style of existing, and in some cases deceased artists. And AI voice generation is getting better at mimicking real-life actors, putting voice actors at risk of losing their next role to an AI that could sound similar to them. There aren't a lot of safeguards protecting employees from losing their job to AI, in the same way that there weren't a lot of safeguards protecting manufacturing workers from losing their jobs to machines. As AI becomes even more advanced, being able to generate art, dialogue, voiceover recording, and even code, it'll be up to AI ethicists to examine the risk of flooding the market with tools that could potentially upend the labor market and force thousands out of work.
So I'm hesitant to start jumping for joy over the implementation of AI-generated assets in video games. Now I can see the positives of overworked developers using it to streamline their processes and reduce the amount of time they spend crunching late into nights and weekends, but I can also see massive studios using it as a means to cut jobs, reduce staff, and leave creativity up to unpaid algorithms. When it comes to technology, humanity has a tendency to rip the genie out of its bottle and throw it at everything without stopping to think of the ramifications, and if a big greedy corporation can use it to lay off a person and get a machine to do it for free, you bet your ass they will.
The question about what the future of games under AI will look like is really asking what existing AI in games will look like in the future. Language model AIs are the most prominent and exciting developments in the AI space, with immediate applications for game development, particularly NPCs. The potential for deeper NPC interactions, more robust RPG systems, and even the ability for smaller studios to be able to create large-scale games that could go toe-to-toe with the biggest MMORPGs are all just some of the possibilities with the new AI revolution. But it'll take a careful watch to ensure that AI doesn't push out the human qualities that go into game development, or that predatory contracts don't sign over voiceover likenesses to AI studios, who can promise your next AAA game protagonist can be voiced by an AI. While it's not accurate to say video games are in the early stages of AI development, it's certainly a new chapter for the technology. And the industry will have to evolve with AI more than any other recent buzzword trend to hit gaming in the last 5 years.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already. In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
That's a wrap on another episode of Cyber Monday. From cutting-edge laptops to AI-powered gaming and assistive tech innovations, today's show proves once again that the future is here, and it's exciting. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay curious, stay innovative, and I'll see you next time on Cyber Monday.